You tell me.
All right. Guys, thanks for being here. She just wanted to express her appreciation to Washington County and the prosecuting office, Matt Durrett, all of the people from the city of Fayetteville Police Department, all of the detectives worked with them. She appreciates them and all the hard work they've done for 9 years. She appreciates them very, very much. So with that, I'm just going to let her make her statement, and then she will be happy to answer questions that you might have for today. Thanks for being here.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we come to meet, but I come with not good news today. News that I had rather not give, because this has been a long journey for Nina and myself and my family. And to come through this many years and not have closure the way that I want it is very, very difficult, very, very painful. I don't think that the justice system seemingly was not fair in this situation. Nina cannot speak for herself, but I am speaking in behalf of her. This is not going to be an incident that will be forgotten for Nina. I come to you. I have survived this. My family has survived this because of the Lord Jesus Christ. Without His strength, there is no way that I can keep on walking and do the things that I need to do for Nina. But I will continue to work for her in every way. I'm going to talk about a foundation for her in just a little while. But first, I want to talk about Rico that was let out of jail today. I, of course, think this is totally unfair, totally uncalled for, but because of the things that happened during the investigation process, they're left to do nothing but let him out. The key witness died of a heart attack about 3 or 4 months ago, and she was the only witness that could have testified to put him in prison. So after that, they didn't have any credible witness to work with. They had really nothing to work with this whole time. There's been barely any DNA, if any. There's been no fingerprints or anything. So this has been a very difficult case to work with, but they continued to work and they continued to try. So every year, thanks to you people, I was able to present to the public a plea for someone to please call in and do something if they knew anything about Nina's murder. And after 6 years, this lady called in and told them what Rico told her. And now she no longer is alive and can do this. And so they had no choice again but to let Rico out of jail. So unfair. Nina got tangled up in the justice system, and it is just not fair. And it seems like he's just going to be let off the hook and not taken to court for this or paid for this. But I want to remind you that there is one he will not fool, and that's God. God says that vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. He also says, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. He also says, woe unto them that shed innocent blood. So he's not off the hook. This did not happen my way or the way that we think that it needed to happen, but God will take care of this. I fully trust. I don't understand in any measure why we don't have this solved, but God knows, and I'm totally happy with trusting God that He's going to take care of this. And I don't know how, I don't know when. But I plead once again to the public that if you know something out there, which I believe there is somebody out there that knows something of this murder, that you would not hesitate to call the police department. Because if he's capable of killing Nina, he is certainly capable of killing somebody else. And I do not want somebody else to go through what I have and my family has went through. The justice system, I think, is a good system to put people in jail that commit crimes. I know it has to be there, policies, procedures, whatnot that goes along with the justice system. But I promise you, when they made some of the procedures, they didn't have a daughter that got killed. So they didn't have to deal with that. The process allowed them to have continuances in the court before the trial came. I think that that's necessary sometimes to gather evidence and so forth. And I was willing to do whatever I needed to do to bring this man to justice. But after about 8 times, continuances, then, that was really excruciating. I mean, I couldn't understand that. And then, with this stalling, if you will, of justice, in the meantime, the key witness died. And so now we're left with nothing, it's just kind of hanging out there. So they have no choice but to let Mr. Rico go because they don't have any evidence. Had they had this trial somewhat earlier, they would have been able to prosecute him. I have that to say about the judicial system, that it was totally, to me, unfair in so many continuances that allowed this to happen, because you never know what's going to happen in a murder case like this. But I honor her. I have in progress a foundation called the Nina Ingram Foundation. She has a website. It is to help people and children that have went through a tragedy like this. I have been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for closure. There has been no closure, and this is not really the closure that I wanted, but I still am going to do this. I will have an account at Bank of America to get this started. If anyone would like to contribute, it would be much appreciated. It's not necessary if you don't want to, but it would sure help, because one way or another I am going to do this. And once again, I thank the public for all their contribution and compassion in this case. I know that there are going to be a lot of unhappy people out there, and I know it's more than I can say. The pain is greater than you can say. It's like a numbing pain. You can't describe it. So if you know anything, I'm going to still ask you to call in, because I don't want your daughter or your son or your mother or your sister killed by this man, because I don't want them to have to go through what I had to go through. But the Nina Ingram Foundation will give honor to her, and not forget what she stood for. And I appreciate what you all have done. You helped catch this guy back in 2006 with all the times you went with me to reach out to the public for assistance in catching him. And you did that, and I appreciate that more than you know. You have to walk in my shoes to know how much this is appreciated. I desire your prayers and your support, which you have given in any continuation of this. And I will keep you updated on the Nina Ingram Foundation whenever I get it rolling. But it will happen. And I thank you for your time. I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your prayers. Thank you very much.